Top 10 cringiest Prince Harry moments that embarrassed Meghan Markle. Number 10, attention to down there. One story about Prince Harry's frostbitten genitals, which gets far too much attention in his memoir, made headlines before Spare even came out. Harry travels to the North Pole in advance of Prince William's wedding to Kate and returns home with frostbitten ears, cheeks, and todger. Upon arriving home, I'd been horrified to discover that my nether regions were also frost-nipped. This unfortunate incident sparked countless jokes and puns, with some even suggesting that his frostbitten todger should have its own royal title. But in all seriousness, it's a reminder of the harsh conditions that the prince endured during his trek to the North Pole. Poor guy. Without trying to make light of the situation, it's also a reminder that royal men are not immune to frostbite or other cold weather challenges. It's easy to forget that behind the fancy titles and lavish lifestyles, they are still human beings who face real dangers and struggles. Number 9, profiting off the family. Even though Meghan and Harry aren't going to be making money as working members of the royal family, that couple has found other ways to collect their coin. Along with their highly controversial Netflix docu-series and the memoir Harry released, I have a feeling that couple has found their sweet spot when it comes to content the audience will pay for. And you guessed it, it usually involves never heard before tea on the very private royal family. The production company Archwell Productions signed the $100 million deal to make the Netflix series, as well as a $25 million deal with Spotify, where Meghan hosts a podcast and discusses real-life issues with celebrities. Even though they weren't paid for the interview they had done with Oprah, it cost the royal family their reputation. Meghan and Harry chose to expose the royals in this CBS special, where allegations of racism, unfair treatment, and financial independence were brought up after the couple stepped back from the royal responsibilities. We can't deny the royal family has always been shrouded in mystery, but now, thanks to the couple's candidness and willingness to share their experiences, we are getting an inside look at what really goes behind closed palace doors. And let me tell you, it's not all tea and crumpets. And with this newfound transparency comes a hefty price tag. Who knew that being a royal could actually be profitable? And also how Meghan managed to make those messy bun hairstyles trendy and sell out in record time, so it's no surprise that everything they touch turns into gold. Number 8, the docu-series. Since the backlash from the interview didn't seem to do anything to Harry and Meghan, it was followed by a tell-all docu-series that dove into the personal lives of the couple and their experiences at the royal castle, which they felt was mandatory to share with the rest of the world. And just to be clear, this caused just as much, if not more, backlash, with more people questioning why the couple keeps sharing all these personal stories after claiming they want to keep their personal lives away from the media attention. Many people have questioned if this couple decided to drop this Netflix miniseries to make extra cash, since it doesn't seem the royal inheritance is enough to keep their family stable. And what would be better than milking the story of the royal family and exposing them for money? Obviously, the royal family did not appreciate these attempts from the couple to bring them more attention while trying to give them a bad rep. But to be fair, the couple themselves don't have the greatest reputation among many people. And then, of course, Harry targeted the British media and their attempts to exploit the royal family. During the 3rd episode of this series, Harry describes the role of royal correspondents who specialize in coverage and analysis of the royal family and their role in the British media. Number 7, twisting the truth. The couple claims to have given up a lot to start a whole new life, but did they? So far, most things they've been doing involve the fact that they haven't given up some aspects of the life they were once living. For one, the title of Harry and Meghan's foundation caused some royal drama because they were told they were no longer allowed to use Royal Sussexes. They eventually came to an agreement that the title will be revised after the spring of 2020. Other ways it just doesn't seem the couple has let go is the fact that they are profiting off the grief they experienced from the royals and sharing it with people in different forms, like the series, interviews, and even the new memoir dropped, Spare. The controversial memoir was released earlier this year, making everyone question Harry's intention. Highly sensitive info about family members is included, which obviously had not been discussed with the family members before. The memoir seems like a stab in the back of his family, and it most definitely is not a good look for Harry or Meghan, who have come out more than once saying the family never supported them. Number 6, cutting family ties. When they announced their departure, they dropped a serious royal bomb. Number 5, megxit. The couple negotiated their exit as senior working members of the royal family, which was an unprecedented move that sent shockwaves through Britain. The late Queen admitted the family would have preferred them to remain full-time working members of the royal family, but still respect and understand their wish to live a more independent life as a family. The move was dubbed megxit, the use of her name rather than a collective term for the two of them, which is interpreted by some as Meghan being the instigator, despite it being highly publicized that it was a mutual decision. Harry even explained how the term megxit is a misogynistic term that was created by a troll, amplified by royal correspondence, and grew into mainstream media. Some may take it as a joke, but obviously Harry doesn't play about his wifey. Number 4, Frosty family complaints. It was a known fact that many did sympathize with the Sussexes' complaints about their cold reception in Britain and a few royal protocols that did not sit well with them. But some accusations against the palace and the press felt wild and over the top, which is not doing them any favors in the opinion polls either. According to sources, the Sussex are now amongst the most unpopular public figures in Britain. I know, shocking, right? The only royal who is more disliked than both is Prince Andrew. Fox News columnist Lee Cohen suggested Meghan and Harry are on track to be more hated than the Duke of Windsor and Wallis Simpson. Cohen said, like the Windsors before them, the Sussexes have fallen out of favor in Britain for their indecorous behavior. But while the Duke of Windsor let his people down by being irresponsible, he and his wife did not seek the spotlight in any meaningful way, nor did they exist as the Sussexes seem to, hell-bent to destroy the monarchy. Harry didn't seem to have any problem throwing his brother, father, and even the late grandmother under a big red double-decker London bus. Number 3, stripped of titles. Harry was stripped of his military titles, spending a lot of his life serving in the military, to losing the titles passed on to him from his grandfather, Prince Philip. Tragic. Another role he'll no longer be serving is as Commodore-in-Chief for small ships and diving in the Royal Navy. So now the reputation is damaged. They don't have the support of a lot of people in the UK, and after their docu-series, Americans feel a way about that couple too. So really, it does sound like they just keep digging themselves a deeper hole. Now let's summarize everything this royal couple has lost on their way out of the palace. We already know they have not been receiving any royal funds. As working royals, they used to receive 95% of their annual income from Harry's father, which is an insane bag to fumble, but somehow they managed to not only lose that, but much more. Their security arrangements were also taken aback. They lost a lot of the royal titles, the support of their family, and even fans who were once sympathetic to their situation. They were unable to keep the Frogmore Cottage too, which was gifted by the late Queen when they got married, which they offered to repay an amount after they had stepped down. Not to mention, they lost respect from a lot of people who looked up to them during their time as royals. Their reputation has become very questionable after the allegations that have come out about them lying in the Oprah interview and their docuseries. And their ratings just keep on dropping. Yikes. Number 2, the dark secret. As the deepest secret still to be revealed, Prince Harry has been warned about royal retaliation. According to reports, Harry is concealing a damaging secret, so he cannot respond other than to dismiss the potential leak as a flat lie. Following the torrent of negative allegations contained in Harry's tell-all memoir Spare, royal staffers may attempt retaliation by providing information about the royal. If other royals approve of the release of the Duke of Sussex's deepest secret to the media, he could soon face immense damage. Radar, celebrity website, was informed by a source that the information would have such a negative impact on Harry that he would be unable to respond other than to call the unspoken revelations lies. According to the insider, staffers of the firm want to discredit Harry at any opportunity because he has stood up to them and broken protocol during recent revelatory television appearances, a book, and a Netflix series about his life with wife Meghan Markle. They stated Harry wouldn't be surprised if the royals told the media some of his most intimate details. However, despite the dangers of retaliation, OK Magazine, Harry is said to be relieved that his story is out there and has no regrets about the things that were revealed in Spare. It comes as media writer Sophie Ellsworth of The Australian stated that Harry should be wary of a counterattack as the rift between Harry and his father and brother grows. And finally, number 1, revenge. Revenge is delicious. The question is whether the royal family will take vengeance. According to Miss Ellsworth in the Royal Report, what goes around comes around. He's trashed them, he's made a fortune out of it, and we should watch this space because I wouldn't be surprised if there is some leaking on him that will do him immense damage. And I've got to say, my sympathy levels are extremely low. However, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex still haven't decided, according to a Mirror report. Sources say the decision will be made based on whether the King and Prince will agree to hold a family meeting prior to the event to establish some guidelines. A source stated Harry has been very clear about his position and hasn't changed. He won't come if he thinks the atmosphere will be as bad as it was at the Queen's funeral and Platinum Jubilee. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich.